Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Call of Cthulhu. This is episode 4. We are about to enter the mansion. I hope everyone's having a good day. As I mentioned in the last episode, I'm doing these kind of back to back. So when you guys are watching this, when y'all watch this, it will be Saturday. For me, it is currently Thursday, and I just got in from clearing some snow and getting buried in a snowdrift just only around my face. It just decided to attack my head and face area. My rest of my body, fine. So, as always, sit back, relax, grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite beverage, and let's get into the madness. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment, share with your friends.
In his hut.
Okay. So, we are at the Hawkins mansion. Let's ask the unlocker.
He's clearly not doing any gardening.
You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family, so he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way, he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
Oh, that's very ominous.
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
I see no scorched trees or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room. And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is. Are we gonna take a closer look at this mansion, or do you have other questions?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go through all of these.
You won't get me to believe that it looked any better 3 months ago.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
It's got nothing to do with Charles Hawkins' debts.
Ha! You've already begun to nose around, it would seem. So, since you already know it, the Hawkins family couldn't afford the upkeep of this house. It remains to be seen what they did with all their money. I wager it was Charles Hawkins' travels. Let's go up there. Unless you still have questions.
He's very impatient.
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age. A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, if you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go. Right?
Now, I have been to some old houses that had loose floorboards, got my foot, went through a floorboard once, messed up my knee. That's pretty dangerous. I'd be very worried about that.
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
Why not?
Okay.
You can help.
Right. Let's go.
Alright. We got some new diary entries. Officer Bradley drove us along the cliffs of Darkwater to the Hawkins mansion. The huge house, set on the edge of a steep summit, looks onto the lighthouse. The place seems to be abandoned for some time. Bradley told me about an old caretaker still living here. He shouldn't prevent us from getting to the mansion. And new inhabitant. The hit cop likes order and justice. He's no great sleuth, but he seems more inclined than his colleagues to discover the truth in the Hawkins case. The inhabitants of the island seem friendly with him. He could help my investigation. Okay? Place it. Hawkins Mansion Garden. Abandoned family garden. Hawkins Mansion's perched atop of a steep cliff. The abandoned garden harbors the graves of the Hawkins family, and only the old caretaker Silas Winchester still roams this bleak spot. He protects it fiercely and still puts flowers on the graves of his old master. It's a gloomy place. Say that again. Don't look like I have anything else here. Looking around, seeing if there's anything to see. I know we should be following him, but I want to investigate a bit. See what there is to see. In this Hawkins family mansion. Doesn't look like much over here. There's creepy, dilapidated Victorian era housing. Makes me curious how Silas is keeping his house in order, like taxes and things like that, if the Hawkins were broke.
Poor kid.
Simon Hawkins. Whoops. That's
Charles Hawkins' grave. Who could have done this?
I told you. Silas Winchester is still watching over the Hawkins family.
I must say, it's pretty gloomy.
So, Detective, does this place inspire any thoughts?
Why were they buried here?
I was given to believe that it was Charles Hawkins' wish.
Strange idea. I imagine Webster wasn't too pleased.
Mrs. Hawkins' father? It's said that he's devastated.
Let's go to the mansion.
Please give me a minute. I didn't expect to set foot back here after the burial. What kind of deranged individual would defile this sanctuary? And steal a burnt painting? I don't see Silas doing such a thing. Let alone allowing it. Even that broad baker is above that. Lord, have pity on this poor family.
The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh.
I'm not much of a religious person. There's no need to defile someone's.
The caretaker takes great care of these graves. The caretaker takes great care of these graves.
Anything else around? Oh, for a second I thought that might have been something.
Poor kid.
Right. Looks like I'm continuing without Officer Bradley. Time being. I laid me down and I slept. I awake for the Lord sustained me. Psalms 3:5. Hilltop house built in 1693 by Reverend John Wickwood. Okay. There we go.
Bradley was right. This place is much older than I imagined, but the architecture seems too recent.
Any new clues? Charles, Sarah, and son Hawkins have been laid to rest in the garden of the mansion. Strange decision, especially as they are the only members of the Hawkins family to be buried there. A hurricane lamp has been left close by. Somebody came this way just before it. I do love the aesthetic they got, that real Lovecraftian, just otherworldly feel. Can't tell if that was a raven or a crow. Giant down tree. I used to have a furniture set like this when I was much younger and in my first house.
This entrance is still in use.
Whoa! Whoa! You are trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them! Dump them into the ocean!
Whoa! You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe. Let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater.
You haven't forgiven yourself. You stay here to honor the memory of the deceased.
That's true. I want no more violence. No more tragedy.
It's painful to be the last one left.
You don't know how right you are. Understood. I'm listening.
The police report describes a domestic accident, but Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule. And I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his daughter. I just need to see where the fire started.
No, I can't let you in. The mansion isn't safe.
That's why you barricaded the entrance.
That's right.
And this door?
It's locked, and I make sure it stays that way.
No one lives in the mansion, and you don't take care of it anymore. If you have a good reason to be here, I'm listening.
There's vermin. I keep an eye out.
Vermin?
Yeah, that's it, vermin.
Right. This is what we're going to do. I go inside, and I promise that I'll hunt vermin. Okay with you?
I'm not sure.
If there's nothing else to fear, you can give me that key.
Right. Take the key and do what you have to do. Go on, then. Just to get rid of you.
Let's see what more I can learn from this mansion.
Silas Winchester, caretaker of the Hawkins property. The old caretaker of the Hawkins family, Silas Winchester, still watches over the family graveyard and the burned-out mansion, devoted to Charles Hawkins, whom he all but raised. He also has great respect for the memory of Sarah Hawkins and their child Simon. His long months of solitude in the abandoned property have made him very distrustful. Silas still puts flowers on the grave of Charles, Sarah, and Simon. The axe was a great way to greet somebody. Got a hold of the key that opens the door to the tradesman's entrance to the Hawkins mansion. Hope it was worth the risk. Nice looking key. Always been a fan of that old style aesthetic. Before I go in there, I want to check around a bit more.
Piers, shall we enter?
Can you give me a second, Bradley? I want to see what's over here. I didn't check over here.
I'll have to find another entrance.
Okay. That was all that was over here.
Now that you've finished your fun and games with Silas, we can perhaps inspect the mansion.
You're right. Let's go.
Alright, we're going into the mansion.
Let's take a look inside.
I'm with you.
Chapter. Okay. Pierce and Officer Bradley explore the gardens of the Hawkins mansion. The family lies in the graveyard of the property, guarded by Silas Winchester, the old caretaker, still faithful to his employers. Keeps watch on the place, armed with his axe. Pierce and Bradley manage to calm him down and finally get a hold of the key to the Hawkins mansion. They enter the building looking for the scene of the fire. Wasn't Pierce? That was all me. That was all Pierce.
Follow me. I know the place. Who left this light on?
Okay.
The Last Supper of the Hawkins. What does this tell me?
All right. Now this time I'm not going to exit until I make sure I check everything.
What kind of meat is this? This place is for the head of the family, Charles Hawkins. The boy was probably here, smashed his plate on the floor. Sarah Hawkins' plate. Why did she leave it untouched? Something happened at this table. An argument?
Okay. I'm going to do one last cursory check. Sure I don't miss anything. Nope, don't look like I missed anything.
Hey, Pierce. Daydreaming again?
Working, officer. This dinner table tells us a lot about the Hawkins family life.
Well, we don't have all day. The scene of the fire is next door. Silas managed to bring the fire under control, but it was already too late for the Hawkins.
They seem happy, but Charles is already looking off into the future. His marriage just a stop along the way. Was Charles Hawkins some kind of explorer?
Charles Hawkins poses like an explorer in front of exotic ruins. It's common knowledge that he wasted away his fortune on expensive trips. What's he looking for? Clues. Since the fire in the Hawkins mansion, the dining room has remained intact. The setting allowed the places occupied by the family members to be determined visibly. Etiquette was respected, even in private. Charles Hawkins sat at the head of the table with wife and son on either side. Knocked over chair would be due to something that happened after the fire, or it could confirm the theory of domestic argument. Clearly, the roast was untouched in certain places, the meat mysteriously preserved since then. Seems to have been the subject of dispute between the Hawkins. Okay.
Let's see if I can find something the cops missed.
No objection. The entrance hall of the mansion, a lighted lamp sees you waiting for. the old caretaker who thinks he can stop people from entering. I must find the place where the Hawkins family died. En route, I'll pick as much information on their life as I can. The dining room has remained untouched since the night of the fire. It taught me something about the relations in the Charles-Sarah Hawkins couple. Seems an argument broke out on the night of the drama. In the partly burned out drawing room, the fire has perhaps left a few clues that escaped the local cop.
Did someone escape the fire? The child's corpse left a trace. Where are the others? Did it stop at the time of the fire? They had a fight. Why? Was Charles Hawkins a heavy drinker? Did Sarah Hawkins lose one of her shoes? How? If the painting I found on the docks really came from here, how come it didn't burn?
All very good questions, Pierce.
Blood. This lamp was thrown. This was no accident. This was a fight. Someone fell here. A desperate attempt to flee. And the boy.
So, Detective, what do you make of it?
I firmly believe this fire was more than just an accident.
Huh. What's your theory?
I think the Hawkins couple got into a fight.
You sure of that?
There's only one way to be sure.
Okay. I think that's a pretty good point to end this episode. I'm going to be recording the next episode, which will go live on Sunday, shortly after this. As always, be kind to each other, be kind to yourselves, hydrate, medicate if you have to, eat some good food. And know the holiday times are rough for people. You are loved, you are worthy, you are worth it. Thank you, everybody who tuned in. If you liked it, please leave a comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and I will see you all in the next episode of Call of Cthulhu.